People are starting to feel burnt out of CTR. Let's talk about it.
No!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a bit of a different video. See, something that I had been noticing overall within the Crash Team Racing community was a sense of exhaustion. See, I noticed views going down overall on not only my CTR videos, but other YouTubers that talk about CTR. I've also noticed less people attending streams, actually streaming, and most people either feeling frustrated or tired towards the game. Now, I will be honest here. I do not share these feelings. I still very much enjoy CTR, but just because I'm not feeling that way doesn't mean that others aren't. So I decided to do a massive poll, both on YouTube and Twitter. Approximately, at the time of writing this script and voicing it, 7,000 people had voted and over 600 people commented across both YouTube and Twitter. For that, I am incredibly thankful for all of you who took the time to vote and comment. So, let's get into the numbers. After approximately 7,000 people voting, 26.1% said that they were completely burnt out from CTR. 38.9% said that they were still loving the game, and 34.9% said they're not burnt out, but definitely on the way. So these numbers are definitely important. We are currently on our 4th Grand Prix, and over a quarter of the people who voted are saying that they're completely burnt out of CTR. I'm gonna be honest though, the number that does not bug me at all are the people that said they're already burnt out. See, people get tired of games and move on to something else, but then come back to it once in a while once it feels fresh again. The number that concerns me is the fact that almost 35% of additional people are not burnt out yet, but definitely are feeling it right now. I want to clarify though, this obviously doesn't represent the entire fan base, only a small section. Beenox and Activision have way better tools than I do and can look at data directly to the game. I'm simply trying to use my own little tools to talk about a possible problem before it happens. So with this data, the statement of approximately 61% of the voters are either burnt out or on the way of being burnt out of CTR is true. To me, I think this is an issue that might need to be addressed. But before we address the burnout issue, let's find out why people are feeling burnt out. Over 600 people had commented on whether or not they are getting burnt out and explained why they think the game is great or what's making them feel tired. The number one comment with 242 upvotes comes from Koopa Chaos. Quote, "If there was more of a break between the Grand Prix, then I wouldn't have a problem. One directly after another is a bit tiresome. That's my only complaint though. Still a wonderful game." Another highly voted comment comes from Shay B. Quote, "I have fun when I'm just playing around, but the constant grind for all of the unlockable content is getting tiring. It doesn't help that I can't just do it at my own leisure, since it's all timed and I have other things to do. Sure, I could play online more to get it a bit faster, but I was never really into online play to begin with, and it seems a bit poorly done anyways." I continued reading through all the Twitter and YouTube comments and kind of got an idea of what was burning people out. It comes down to two major issues. One that is fairly clear, and the other, well, is not quite as cut and dry as the other. The first and most prominent issue that a lot of people have been having is how the Grand Prix are coming out. People are feeling that they can't take a break because otherwise they'll lose out on content once the Grand Prix is over. The second issue is the state of online play. Many people have been talking about the stability of it, and at times the online play is as stable as a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant. I love this game. I have put many hours into it. But sometimes the online play is brutal. Indicators not matching their distance of how far the items are, items looking like they are missing but are not, disconnects, lobbies crashing. These are just the overall lovely effects of peer-to-peer online play. There is a lot to talk about in terms of online play, so I'm going to save that for its own video. For now though, the Grand Prix issue. The Grand Prix are making people feel very tired and burnt out. But how? I mean, it's more content and more support for the game. Are people actually asking for less content? Well, no, but a lot of people can't play every single day. And to be able to buy all the content within the pit stop along with the nitro bar, some people are beginning to lag behind because of one single factor: the fact that it's all time-based. In order to get everything in the Nitro Bar and the pit stop, you have to get it before the Grand Prix ends. Now, if you miss something and you hover over top of the item, it says, "We'll be back soon." So, no, they're not gone forever. In fact, some of these items have made a comeback. Now, during the spooky Grand Prix, items that were in the first Grand Prix are coming back into the shop. So after a Grand Prix finishes, it is assumed that 3 months later, items that were in the shop that were timed are now back. But it also begs the question, what about the items in the Nitro Bar? Well, Tana does return, who was originally at the end of the Bronze Nitro Bar, but I am not sure about her Motorsport skin, which was at the end of the Gold Bar. Maybe they will come back later on, I'm unsure. But this still begs the same issue. It's not the content, it's the timing of it. But also, there are people who are just in absolute love with the monthly Grand Prix, and I'm in that group personally. Every month, I cannot wait to race on a new track, with new characters, new karts, and just overall new content. It keeps the game fresh for consistent players, and I genuinely love playing this game nearly every single day. So, how can there be some form of compromise when it comes to the diehard fans who adore the monthly Grand Prix and play almost every single day, without the other people feeling way too burnt out? Now, of course, we have to think like both a consumer and a company. The whole point of the pit stop and the way it's set up is to get people to revisit the game every day to see what's on sale. If everything is on a menu, then people will just grab what they're interested in and then not get anything else, thus lowering engagement in the game. This is how they maintain consistent reoccurring players month to month already. So, how can we compromise with not just two opposing sides of fans, but also the company? Well, this is how I would change how the system works. First off, I think that the character who is the star of the Grand Prix should be put in the pit stop in the following month permanently. It's one thing for carts and cosmetics, but I think characters shouldn't be left to come out at a later time. This would fix the issues of newcomers who get the game and can't unlock certain characters because they didn't have the game when the character's Grand Prix had started. Then the next thing I would add is a legacy slot to the shop. Know how you would have 2 bundle slots and then 6 singular slots? Well, another slot would be added that actually looks to the past Grand Prix and to see if there were any missed items and throws that item in there once per day. Thus, it allows people like me who literally missed one set of tires access to those items, and to those who missed the previous Grand Prix now to have access to previously missed items until they are fully re-released into the pit stop store. Thus, it continues the engagement of checking the pit stop every day, but allows people to still access some of the older items that were missed until they are fully re-released back into the pit stop. But what about the items in the Nitro Pass? At the end of each Grand Prix already, there's an option to fill the rest of your Nitro gauge for a discounted price. But what if you got the game after the Grand Prix are over? Would there be any way to access them? Well, I have an idea. 2 of them actually. The first one would be a bundle pack. When a Grand Prix ends and the next one begins, a bundle pack is made of all the missed items in the Nitro gauge and is given like a 20% off the total value. Each Nitro bar start to end is approximately 14 to 20,000 Wumpa coins. If you missed one Grand Prix entirely, it would be like, I don't know, 17,000 Wumpa coins, give or take. But if you already own items from that Nitro Pass, the total amount for the bundle would go down entirely depending on the items that you've purchased. So if you missed items in a Nitro Pass due to work, school, or simply other things to do, you can earn those items you missed by either checking the pit stop each day in that legacy slot I had talked about earlier, or until the rest of the specific pit stops items get rotated back into the pit stop, or the rest of the missed Grand Prix in a bundle pack. The other option would be rotating Nitro bars. When a Grand Prix ends, the Nitro bar is replaced with a new one. However, if you want to continue earning points on an old Grand Prix, you can rotate your Nitro bar to an older one and continue to earn Nitro points on that Nitro bar, thus continuing earning the rewards for that bar. The Nitro points earned on old Nitro bars would not apply to the current day leaderboards, but it's a way to unlock the rest of the content. Perhaps a combination of both of these ideas are possible. The whole point of these ideas is to alleviate the feeling of needing to play every day to unlock everything, so that if someone were to take a break from Grand Prix, they can come back and still earn the content missed. Or if someone wants to buy the game later down the line and wants to access the other content without waiting months upon months for it to come into the pit stop, they can at least work for it. Maybe my ideas don't work. Maybe my ideas aren't the most intelligent, but I do think that this is a problem, and that's the main purpose of this video, is to point out that there is a burnout problem, and if it doesn't get resolved soon, I got a feeling that the fan base may drop this game entirely. I will mention though, in Nina's Nightmare, they have changed some features that a lot of people are liking, like having the entire pit stop on rotation instead of choking it to a certain amount of items in a day. If you have the coins to clear the pit stop in one go, now you can do it. They also added engine swaps, which has been something that has attracted many people to come back and make the game feel refreshing again. They also added an entirely new engine, which is a completely new driving style. Again, making the game feel fresh. Overall, I think they're taking good steps towards the right direction, but maybe more needs to be done. We'll have to see in the future if Beanox will be able to maintain a freshness in the game. By the way, a huge shout out to my Patreons and sponsors on the channel. I appreciate your support and letting me be able to do this full time, as I got a family to feed. If you want to support the channel, the Patreon is in the description below, and be sure to subscribe for more nostalgic content. And while you're at it, why not check out another video I recently made? Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.